Hi everyone, and welcome to another brewing shed. Today I'm going to be brewing some lager. It's a Hambalton Bard. I don't think it's a particularly popular lager, if I'm honest. It's one that my local brewing shop's discontinued. I'm assuming that's because not many people go back and buy it again. But we're going to give it a go. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. To bump things up a little, we're going to be substituting the yeast that comes with the kit for a Saflager S23. That was recommended to me by the brewing shop that I bought it from. He said that would really help. I've never done one of these before either. This is a first for me. This is a hops tea bag. This is going to be interesting. Like I said, I've never done one of these, but hopefully that will help to give it a good kick. I even noticed it's got a Hambleton Bard logo on the packet, so fingers crossed, you know, they might have made that with this particular beer in mind. And a brew enhancer. For those of you that are not used to brewing, brew enhancer is basically a mixture of malt extract. Trying to think what it was there. Malt extract and of course brewing sugar. So instead of just using brewing sugar, it's a mixture to help with the taste. So if you come back to us in just a few seconds, I'll have a quick check of the kit instructions just to make sure that I get everything right. So we're going to look at the kit instructions, and to be honest, they're very, very basic. So we're just going to go with what we know and hope for the best. So first thing we're going to do, take the instructions off, take the lid off. That's the yeast that came with the kit. We're going to just get rid of that for now. We're not going to be using that today because, like I said, we're going to substitute the yeast with one that I bought specifically to improve the quality of the lager. We've just boiled the kettle, so we're going to fill a pan with some boiling water. We're going to take our tin of wort and we're going to place that into the boiling water for about 10 minutes. And what that will do, that will take all the wort, which is very thick, very sticky, and it will just soften it up a little bit, so that when we come to putting that in the fermenting vessel, that'll be a lot easier. Okay, so the other thing that we're doing, which is an extra to what you need to do, is a hops finishing kit. So read the instructions on that. Carefully not to rip the bag. For those in the UK, you'll probably be familiar with this, making cups of tea. It's a hops tea bag. So you don't open that, you just take that as is. Ah, it smells nice actually. Never seen one of them before. Get just a regular mug. Fill that with boiling water. I love making beer. And what we do, we'll leave that for 10 minutes, and at the end of 10 minutes, or pretty much when we've finished putting our wort and water into the fermenting vessel, we'll add the hops addition, the whole cup plus the tea bag, while we're fermenting. So we'll just fill the kettle up and get the kettle back on boil. Okay, there's not much more we can do now for another 10 minutes. We've got to wait for the wort to soften up. We've got to wait for the tea bag hops to sort itself out. So we'll see you again in a few minutes and we'll get to making. Okay, so kettle's boiled, water in the pan's boiling. That's been in now for about 5 minutes. Hops tea bag's been going for about 5 minutes. I forgot to mention earlier, the hops tea bag that I'm using is a Goldings hops. Never used them before. I haven't been into all grain before, so I'm not really used to all the hops, and I'm not 100% about the flavours and all that, but it's the Goldings hops, and we'll see what happens. So we're just going to start off. I'm going to fill this to just below 5 litres of boiling water. Yep, that's beautiful. Okay, we should just be about ready now for this. Open the tin. Oh, just to say, I've put the kettle back on boil. The reason for this will be clear in a moment. It's not something that it tells you to do on all the instructions, but a lot of the beer brewing videos that you watch on YouTube and various websites will all tell you pretty much to do the same thing. So I'll show you the reason for that in a moment. I should have left the lid on, I've just realised my mistake there, but never mind. Try and get round that in a moment. I'll put that there just for now. So, careful not to burn yourself. Remember, it has been in boiling water. All we're going to do is we're going to pour that into our boiling water. You can see how thick that is. As soon as it hits the water, oh, it smells beautiful. Okay, so I'm not sure if the light in here will permit, but if you have a look in there, you'll see there's actually a fair bit of wort still left in the tin, which brings us back to the reason why we're boiling the kettle again. Just put that down there. I think what I'm going to do as well, normally I'd leave that lid on, but because I'm making the video, I've got ahead of myself. Leave the video attached, and then when you fill that with boiling water and give that a stir, you can pour the boiling water over the lid. Since I haven't done that, I'm just going to put the lid in and we'll give it a stir and a good mess about anyway, and we'll see what we can get out of it. Just going to wash my hands quickly. Okay, so another thing to do as well, remember when you're doing this, you are going to be putting boiling water into a hot tin, and it does transfer heat very well. Always use a tea towel just to put around the outside. Stop me burning myself. While I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, just going to give that a quick stir. Get that all mashed in there. Oh, it smells. It's one of my favourite things about home brewing. is the smell at this stage. Beautiful. Right, so I've run out of things to do until the kettle's boiled, so I might as well have a shameless plug for the good old website. Don't forget, the brewing shed is online, it's live, we've got a few members now. Hello to the Welsh brewer, Rob T. We've also got What's Brewing UK on the website. Still a little bit slow, but membership's starting to build up, and hopefully, you know, the more people we get on, the more we can start sharing advice and recipes and bits like that. So if you fancy being part of a decent community, then please get yourselves on the website, introduce yourselves, let us know what you know. Alright, so the kettle's just about boiled. Just going to pour that in there. Like so. I'm not too worried about the lid as well from a sanitation point of view, because boiling water is a good sanitizer anyway, just in case anyone was thinking or worrying about that. So just going to give that a stir. Try and get under that lid.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so in theory, all we have to do now, slowly pour that into the bucket. And I don't know if you can see that, again I don't know what the light is like at this time of the morning. Just a little bit. Extreme that. But the tin itself is remarkably clean. And of course you want to get as much brewing wort as you can out your tin, just for the quality of your beer. Okay, so the next step, this is a 23 litre beer kit, which gives you roughly about 40 pints. I'm not going to go that high. I did read on the internet somewhere, I can't remember where, that one of the things that you can do if you like a head on your beer, if you like a good head, is to reduce down to about sort of 20-21 litres. So I'm going to try that, I'm going to give it a go and see if we can get a good head on the beer. So now all that we do, most fermenters have got the ability to measure the liquid content on the side of the drum. 23 litres would be roughly about there, so I'm going to go to 20, and we're just going to fill that now with cold water.
bit more. Another one.
Alright, so we're not far from the 20 litre mark that I was hoping for. It's important when you're doing this, before you pitch your yeast, you make sure you've got the right temperature for the yeast, just to make sure you get the best results. This yeast says actually the best range is between 9 and 22, so that's a little bit hot at the minute. What you could do if it was low is reboil your kettle and add some hot water to bring the temperature up, but because it's a little bit high, although it's only just a little bit high I think, we can carry on with the cold water, and I'll make that up to 20-21 litres. So where are we? That'll do, that's nice. Okay, so we'll give that a bit of a stir, make sure that's all mixed in nice. This is now starting to resemble proper beer. Looks a little bit different from when it was in the can. Okay, so we've got our beer. And I'll tell you again, just because I'm making the video and I'm not thinking straight, I forgot to add the brew enhancer. Not to worry. You're supposed to do this when you've got the boiling water in. The reason for that is that it helps it dissolve and it helps it stop clumps. What I'm going to have to do is just add this now very, very slowly and give it a real good stir, just to make sure that there aren't too many clumps. So a bit of a wally there, but let's carry on. What a plonker. Well, there's one thing with this brew. It's certainly going to be aerated, whatever. And I bet that's pushed there. Oh well, 25. It's not quite what I wanted, but never mind. That's part of home brewing. It's making a cock up and laughing at it. Right, so hopefully that's all the sugar dissolved. Right, okay then, so before we add our yeast, the last thing, or one more thing that I want to do, put that over there just a moment, try in the bin in a minute. Okay, so we just want to check our just want to check our starting gravity. To do that, we're going to use one of these. Don't ask me what it's called, or I'll just say it's testing beaker. Okay. We're going to use that to determine it. So we have a starting gravity of, it's on the line, 1040. I think that's pretty much standard, that's what it should be. Okay, again, all this is sterilised, so I'm just going to pour that straight back in. We don't want to waste a drop. Okay, and if we check the temperature, 22. So what was that supposed to be? It was meant to be 9 to 22, so that's bang on. Like I say, I have actually ended up with more than I wanted in there. It's just levelled out at the 23 litre mark, so it's okay. It's not desperately bad. But I would have liked to have done a little bit less just to try and make a better head retention. But never mind. Okay, so all we're going to do now... Oh yeah, sorry, something else I'm forgetting. I blame the video completely. This is our hops tea. That's been going now for longer than 10 minutes anyway. Certainly smells hoppy. You can see that the water's changed. All we're going to do with that is we're going to pour that in there, like so. And we're going to drop our tea bag in. We'll leave that in there for the duration of the fermentation. So now we can pitch our yeast. Loads of people do this in different ways. I guess I just tend to sprinkle it on top. And then give it just a bit of a, sometimes give it a dab, this time okay, so there you have it. 40 pints of beer fermenting away. Fingers crossed, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I don't know if I'll do a bottling up video for this one, because I'm going to do a bottling up video for my cider, and I think, to be honest, bottling up is bottling up. But if we don't see you in a couple of weeks for a bottling up video, we'll see you in a couple of months' time for a taste test. See you later.